Welcome back to Likras. We're working on Parshas Vayishlach. We find in Parshas Vayishlach, Yaakov sends a present before he meets personally his twin brother Esav. This present is comprised of slaves and animals, and he sends it in groups. The Torah relates specifically the Yetzavas Arishan. It says he gives instruction on the slaves how they're to present themselves to his twin brother Esav. He gives instruction to the first group. The Torah then describes Yetzavas Hasheni. Yaakov gives instruction to the second group. Then the Torah says Yetzavas Hashlishi. Yaakov gives the same instruction to the third group. Then the Torah continues, Gam es kol ahochim acharei ha'adarim leimor. So too, Yaakov gives instruction to all the groups. He divided up slaves, animals, and then another group slaves, animals, and another group slaves, animals, and another, and another, and another. And the Torah describes it in this way. Ask the Maor Vashemesh a question. Why does the Torah describe it this way? Really what the Torah should do is either list all groups, however many there are, 17, 170, 370, whatever there is, or just say the first one and then all other groups. Why would you list 1 and 2 and 3 and then a general statement of all the following groups? The Maor Vashemesh suggests an answer. Venir Li says, Yaakov Avinu saw in his Ruach HaKodesh, the future of Klal Yisrael, they're going to be in 4 different gullias. There's 4 times they're going to be exiled. The Jewish people belong independent in the land of Israel. That's where they belong, but it doesn't always happen that way. Jewish people experiences a lot of gullus, a lot of not being where they're supposed to be, being instead in non-Jewish nations, subject to them, physically under their domain. Why really deserves a shir by itself, maybe more. We're not going to talk about the why. We're just going to talk about there's a reality that Klal Yisrael finds still many times in gullus. Now, in this gullus, when they are subject to the foreign nations, they're in a foreign country, so many times these people amongst this foreign nation would like to harm Klal Yisrael. So Yaakov Avinu wants to give a clue, the Deiris wants to give a clue to all future generations of his that are going to be suffering this gullus. You know what's the way to minimize the suffering? The way to minimize the suffering is what Yaakov Avinu is showing us. He's showing us kniyah. He's showing us be humble in front of Esav. Bow to Esav. Show that Esav's the boss. That's what Gullus is. The non-Jews are on top and we're on the bottom. Why? That's how Kodesh Baruch Hu is running the world at this time, whenever there's a time of Gullus. And if you accept it, if you, the Jewish people, are willing to accept this is what Hashem's plan is now, it's going to be much better for you. Then you're going to encourage the mercy of that non-Jewish host nation that's among you. He's not going to hurt you then, under those circumstances. If you choose the opposite path, you choose to start up, push your luck, so then you're going to be looking for trouble. So that's what he says. And that's why it's spoken on these ways. There were the first 3 Golisim were shorter. The Egypt is a classic gullus, and then there was the gullus of Bavel, there was the gullus of Yavan and Madai, there was the gullus of, and the long gullus is the gullus of Rome. So that's why it says 1, 2, 3 were the gullusim that were short, and then we have the gullus that's long, this gullus of Esav, that's the long gullus. So that's why it says all the groups, because we went from one king to another king, all under Esav. One nation to another nation, all under the leadership of Esav. And Yaakov Avinu wants to tell us, what's the message? You have to have a humility, a kniyah. You have to realize that Esav's in charge, you're not in charge. You're not the boss of a foreign nation. If a Kodesh Baruch Hu is merciful with you, he gives you independence in the land of Israel, you belong, then that's a reason to be proud and happy. If that's not what it is, and you're stuck in Gullus, please note, you're not in charge, they're in charge. It's time to be humble. If you choose to be humble when you're stuck in Gullus, it's going to be easier for you.